Players, somebody asked this man if Netta and Charles were stanking, and he did not respond. Y'all go ahead and grab your tea and have a seat. Let's talk about Netta Charles and their former manager, Carlos, going live together last night. I'm telling you, my chest hurt from laughing so much. It is obvious to me that Netta and Charles have never had a thing, and they have lost their grace and their humbleness. And in my opinion, that's going to be their downfall. But let's just go through what happened last night. So this is Carlos. This is the manager. He says he's a college professor, and also he's worked with several different celebrities, influencers, or whatnot. So he decided to work with Netta and Charles back in January. He said Netta and Charles were initially charging $750 for an appearance. However, he eventually had to raise those prices because it wasn't covering the upfront costs that they have to go through. And he doesn't think that Netta and Charles understand that. Like, there were times where Netta and Charles wanted to fly first class, and also the hair and makeup had to be paid for, and their hotel accommodations, and all of that had to come out of the fee. So he said whenever he started charging the $10K, no one wanted to book them. He said they did get like 1 or 2 bookings for $10,000, but other than that, no one really wanted to book them after he raised the price to $10K. And he raised it because Netta and Charles's taste kind of changed, where they wanted to fly first class and things like that. Now, Netta and Charles deny that completely. They say that the reason why they wanted to fly first class is because he said that the person that was doing the booking was flying them first class. Now, the manager, when he was on his own live by himself, said that when he first met Netta and Charles, they were dressing in Temu, they didn't look good, and that's why Netta started buying like the Louis Vuitton and the fake Louis Vuitton and all that kind of stuff. But he said he would get upset because Netta would be pulling it out of plastic bags, and he tried to set them up to get some real Louis Vuitton bags and stuff, but they still wasn't quite understanding it. He was basically calling Charles and Netta slow. He also said that Netta claimed she made $100,000 from social media last year. However, she hasn't done her taxes yet. He also decreed and declared that that Charles has been fired from his job for submitting fake doctor's excuses. Apparently, there were some appearances that Charles wanted to go on. However, he didn't have the time off from work, so he faked an injury, saying that he had glass in his foot. They got some fake documentation, and submitted that, and eventually, after he kept doing it, he got caught and he got fired. Netta is accusing the manager of stealing $7,500 from them from a previous booking. However, the manager is basically saying, look, we have to talk about the fees that came out of that. I sent you $2,500 of it. Netta wanted to know what's happening with the reality show. He says that he owns the reality show and he's not putting it out. Also, Ms. Netta was supposed to be coming out with some seasonings. He also didn't really explain much about the seasonings, but at the end of the day, they're not coming out. When he was on live by himself, someone asked him if Ms. Netta and Charles was stanking. He did refuse to answer. Baby, that took me out. As far as the BET Awards was concerned, he received some messages from this publicist named Roy that was supposed to get Netta and Charles in the BET Awards. However, it did not happen. Ms. Netta is pissed to the highest level of festivity that she spent so much money going out there, but they did not end up getting on the BET Awards. The manager alleges that Ms. Netta always wants things for free. She wants people to do her hair and makeup for a free promo, in which sometimes people would do it and sometimes they wouldn't. And he said that he would pay the stylist or the makeup artist that did not want to do their makeup and hair for free. Once Miss Netta got upset because she didn't have the right kind of lace on a wig, and also she got upset because somebody was trying to charge her $650 for some hair and makeup, and she said she wasn't paying it. At the end of the day, there was a lot of yelling and screaming. They all was calling each other slow. Charles acted like he wanted to come through the phone on the man at one point when the man told him to shut the hell up. It was just ridiculous and a hot boo shitty mess. Players, again, my thoughts is that Netta and Charles ain't used to nothing. This is what happens when people run into that kind of social media money and they have never had a thing in their life, and this is what we see. They have lost that grace and humbleness, and I'm hoping that they get it back, because at the end of the day, I feel like that's what's going to be their downfall. All right, players, put it in the comments. It's your girl, WD Mova, reporting once again for the Black Accurate News.